All right, so this is perhaps one of the most requested videos regarding running your own online business, and that is how to get traffic. So let's talk about it. Actually, we're going to talk about the different types of traffic. Then we're going to get more into, the full on how to get it and all that good stuff. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. All right, so what's up, everybody? Hope you're doing well. And so we're going to be talking about paid traffic for your website, for your capture page, for your affiliate offer, whatever it is that you got. So this is kind of like the most intimidating part of having your business and running a business because, first of all, the idea is it's going to take money to make money, and a lot of people don't have money starting out. But when you are running a business, obviously you have to consider these things in order to really get people to look at your offer, to look at your website and everything else. You have to have traffic. Now, there are free ways of getting traffic. That's kind of a no-brainer. Of course, you can do this for free and not really invest in paid traffic until you have some money for it. But the problem is, unless you're taking massive amounts of action, it's probably going to take a lot longer for you to see results than it would if you just did paid traffic. Paid traffic is when you're pretty much expediting things, leveraging off of other services that can drive traffic to your site so that you don't have to personally do it. Because let's be honest, paying for an ad can reach hundreds and thousands of people in a much quicker time frame than you individually going to reach out to hundreds and thousands of people, right? So, it's not the most simple thing to do when you're doing free traffic. That's why paid traffic is pretty much better. But again, it is intimidating because, a lot of people don't really have money starting out and they don't really want to spend that money. But I'm telling you, if you can fork over some dough, 100% go with free traffic. Now there's different types of free traffic. So, you can really think about the first step here, which the first step is to analyze your budget and see what it is that you can afford. So you don't need to have a big budget. You can actually set aside, a few bucks every month. Now, obviously, again, you will see quicker results if you put more money into paid traffic. So think about that. Don't think that because you're putting only a little bit of money every month that you're going to see results in a short time frame. When I first started investing in free traffic, I didn't see real results for the first month. So the money that I put into my paid traffic for the first month, I didn't get any conversions. I didn't get any sales. Now, does that make you think, oh, well, that must mean that this was fake? This is not real. It didn't work. It's not legitimate. It didn't work. No, not the case at all. As a matter of fact, when I sent out my offer for the first months of paid traffic, I was building my email list. And so I didn't get any conversions the first month, but I was building my list. And so that means that your attention must be in the long game, right? You must understand that the attention is in the long game. Now, this is true even if you do the free method, even if you just go out and you reach out to people. There's no guarantee that someone's going to buy your offer right off the first confrontation, the first exposure that they get. Statistically, it takes, and this isn't for everyone, but statistically, it takes up to 7 times for a person to see an offer before they make a buying decision. So that's why it's important to have an autoresponder. But if you're going the paid traffic route and you're putting only a little bit of money per month, even if you put a decent size, there is no guarantee. And one thing I want you to understand is that there is no guarantee because the expectation is you put money into advertising for the first month. You expect to make that money back and then some by the end of that month. Now, does that happen? Absolutely. It's happened to me several times. But does it always happen? No, not always. Sometimes I get a lot less than what I paid, right? Sometimes, depending on my budget, I don't get anything at all. And when I say anything at all, I'm talking about like closed sales. Like, this month I put in, a few bucks here and there into paid traffic, or paid advertising. And by the end of the month, I didn't get any sales. But what I did get is people on my list. I got leads. And guys, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for leads. You're paying to grow your email list. In the free method, that's exactly what you're doing. You are busting your butt for free to build your list. Because the buying part, the part where they buy your product, it has nothing to do with you. It is up to the lead themselves. It is up to them to decide that, you know what, I really like this. I really want this. I'm going to go ahead and put my money down on this thing. You cannot force, as good a salesperson as you are, there's always this part of the process where you are severed from the final piece. And that final piece is they make the purchasing decision. You cannot force anyone, no matter how hard you try, you cannot force someone to buy something. That is, of course, unless you're physically in front of them holding a gun to their head. Then you can. But, in all other cases, it's not possible. So your perspective may be wrong. You may think that you're paying for sales. You're not. You're paying to have people added to your list. And as long as your list is growing, then it's a win, right? As long as you're getting people on your list, it's a win. That money is paying off. Now, obviously, you pay that money. You want those people to buy from you, of course. So then you have to consider, are you advertising in the right areas? Are these people that are looking for what it is that you're trying to sell? You have to consider that. Maybe you're advertising in a spot that's not really good for you. Maybe, if you're selling dog toys and you're trying to advertise in lawn care, people who mow lawns, sure, they'll have dogs, but they're not looking for dog toys. They're looking for lawn care. So, you could be investing in the wrong area, but if you're investing in the right area, then you got to know that as long as you're building your list, that money is good, or the free method is good. You're getting what you put in. Eventually, of course, you do want to see sales. And so that's where the power of the email autoresponder is. That's where it comes from. You have to use your ability to market to these people, to remarket to them over and over until they make that buying decision. But as long as you're growing your list, that's how you do it. And again, you have to consider the long game. You have to consider that, well, some will buy now. Sure, some will buy now, but the majority of them won't. And so if I don't close them this month, okay, but I could close them next month or maybe the month after. I've had people on my list that it took a year before they ever bought anything from me. They got emails from me every other day for a year. And then after a year, they decided, you know what? This guy is on the ball, man. I'm going to go ahead and buy from him. And they've told me that. So yeah, you have to think about the long game, okay? And if you are selling something that has a recurring commission, well, that's all the more power to you, because not only are they buying from you, sure, several months out, but that moment when they buy from you and it's a recurring thing, well, you're good because your income has grown in recurring value for that one sale that maybe they didn't buy right away, but they bought eventually. So, you don't have to do any extra work. You already got them on your list. You just keep emailing, and that's the deal. Now, there's a whole video that I did on email marketing and that kind of stuff. You could take a look at my channel here for that link. But with the paid traffic, I wanted to talk to you briefly about the two different types that I typically use, and then we'll let you go for this video. There's plenty more out there, but two that are very effective for me. One is solo ads, and I used to hate solo ads, but then I realized solo ads was getting me the most bang for the buck. It was the best way that I grew my list, and no matter what else, solo ads, I was not a believer in it because I felt that it was too spammy, but it really was the lifeblood of my business. And solo ads, that's the first one. The second one is pay-per-click, PPC, and that one, I do off and on Facebook, a little bit on Instagram, but mostly Facebook, and that's what I use to power my e-commerce business. So I use pay-per-click through Facebook, again, a little bit on Instagram, but I haven't really tapped into that too much. But it's good because Instagram is definitely growing. But anyway, so pay-per-click is great for a platform that's like e-commerce. But the thing that you need to know about using Facebook pay-per-click, and this just totally slipped my mind, but I also am familiar with Google pay-per-click as well. So that's another big one too. But I spent a lot of time on Facebook doing it that way. And Google's really good too. The thing is, you have to know how to use it. So neither of them are very user friendly. You have to kind of navigate around it and figure things out. You also have to fine tune your targeting. So there's various different elements when it comes to targeting for Facebook, Google, and YouTube and Instagram. There's a lot of things you have to configure, such as you have to figure out what your demographic is. And so that requires you to pitch to a certain age group, age range, locations, their shared interests, things like that. And it's not easy. I mean, it requires a lot of trial and error. So, can it work? Absolutely. Absolutely. It can definitely, and it does for me. It certainly does for me. But, it's if you're looking for something that's more simple and straightforward, pay-per-click is great, but it's going to require you some understanding. There's a learning curve for sure. So, if you don't mind going on YouTube like you are right now and learn how to do that kind of stuff, I urge you to do so. But it's going to take a little bit for you to figure out. And again, there's that trial and error. Now, when it comes to solo ads, again, I used to hate it, like the whole concept of it, because essentially what you're doing is you are emailing someone else's email list, and so basically this person has a large list, and this large list is based on one specific interest. Usually people like this, they own several lists. They own several lists with different interests and all that. That's how they make some real good money. But they have a large list based on a specific interest, and you have an email that you've written where you want people to go to your offer. So you send it to this person, with obviously paying a fee for it, and then they send your email to their list, and that can get a lot of people on your email list. Now, I used to hate it because I was like, man, you're just being spammy on someone else's probably spammy list. So there's challenges with that, but I personally feel the benefits far outweigh it. But let me explain the challenges real quick. The challenges, there's still a little bit of statistic hunting that you need to figure out. First of all, again, you still need to know your demographics. So I'll say this again, if you're selling dog toys, you don't want to go to someone who owns a list of lawn care seekers or whatever, right? You don't want that. So you have to reach out to the right solo ad providers. Normally, you should ask them in advance several questions to make sure that they're the right fit for you. And, get several factors like what is the success rate, where are these leads located? How did you acquire them? This and that and the third. Because there's some people out there who are scammy, not spammy, but scammy. Like they'll scam other people. and they'll say, yeah, I got this large list. They all, home buyers, whatever, home business, whatever. And then you buy from them and realize that these leads are not really qualified and they're not active buyers. So that's a question you should ask too, is are these solo ad providers, are they providing leads that are confirmed active buyers? Because if they're not, and they acquired their list from some weird black hat tactic, for instance, if I could do this, anyone could do this really, is you can go to Google. Actually, there's programs out there that you can download where you can compile a database of emails from people from a certain niche. I don't know if you knew that or not, but there's ways to do that. And so these people weren't requested to join on any list. They just were, they were taken from a database and they were being advertised to. So there's solo ad providers that they do that, and those are very scammy, unprofessional. People don't like them, so there's not too many of those around unless you're looking in very shady areas. But so that's one thing to keep in mind. Are they active buyers? So you need to ask certain questions. You need to ask certain questions to help you to better improve your success rate. Again, it's more about building your email list. But you do want to ask things like, are they active buyers? Because, you don't want to fill your list. You don't want to grow your list and then only realize that what you're growing your list with is unqualified leads. They'll never buy from you. If you could have a list of 10,000 people and they'll never buy from you because they were never qualified. They were never pre-qualified. So, you have to ask certain questions. All the technical stuff thereafter is really up to the solo ad provider. So there's a much better ease of use compared to something like PPC on Facebook or Google, because that's the situation. The solo ad provider is the one that handles all that technical stuff. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is essentially interview the person and make sure that you're a good fit. And of course, the other side of it too is that you have to make sure you have a email swipe that, it's a high converting one. It's well written. It's it's got the correct link for you to send to your list. To their list. And so sorry, hang on one second. My dog is really bothering me. He keeps trying to get in the video. Anyway, so where was I? So that's pretty much it. You have to. Those are the two main things, and there's outside of that, there's other methods. There's banner ads. There's so many other things out there, but those are the two that I've personally used to this day, and they're actually they're the ones that I see the most success with. Now, if I had to tell you up front, solo ads historically has been the best one for me. And like I've said before, I find that weird because of passing, what my initial thought of it, but it stands the test of time for me, and it's absolutely a really good way to fill your list. The PPC method is definitely good too, but I prefer solo ads. Now compare that to doing something that's free. I rather pay someone else to do the heavy lifting for me so that I can focus more on other things that I need to do to build my business. So if you don't have a sizable budget, if you don't really have, money to set aside every month, then you do have to do it the free way, which is basically just hustling. But you're only one person, and you can only reach a certain amount of people at any given time. Doing paid ads is the best way to do things quicker, and relying on someone else's ability to get you what you need. So that's pretty much it. And if you have any questions, let me know, and I hope you enjoyed this video.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. Once again, please give me a thumbs up. Let the YouTube algorithm know that you love the content on this channel. Also, click that subscribe button and bell notification to be updated on when new videos go up. And last but not least, if you want to have an online business to start sending, start sending traffic to, You can see right in the description box below, there's a link that shows you what I'm using to run a business and to use an affiliate marketing model that I am driving traffic to and building my list with. So click that below. I'll be happy to help you set it all up and get you going. All right, so see you next time. It's Jason. Much love, God bless, and as always, you know, peace.
I should make money for free. Yeah, that's how money works. Money for free. If I ain't got a boss, then it's not a legal way to make money. You gotta know that's true, right? You gotta have a boss for it. The only way to make money is by spending a crazy amount of time. If I'm not like slave or nothing like that, okay. But okay, here we go. Nobody makes money from home. This COVID thing is just a fluke. We're gonna be in office again, and if you seriously want to help me, you should just give me money. I mean, that's how you can show me